Good day, everyone. I'm here to continue from the last class where we stopped at the last class. At the last class, we discussed about what ICT is, concept of ICT, information, communication, and technology, transmission of information, stages of information, revolution. And today we are going to continue with the stages of information revolution, evolution of information age. For transmission of information, after receiving information, the question of how to disseminate it now arises. Ideally, for an item to be a piece of information, it has to be passed from one person to another and from one place to another. Information could be passed through an ancient or modern method. As of last week, we discussed about information, how information is either important or not important. It has to be processed before, from being a data, you process it and it will become an information. As we say, data are raw facts. So this data, when you put them together and process them, it will turn to information. I also gave an example of what information can be and what information cannot be, and whether the information is valid or invalid, whether it is important or not. Now, from this table, we have two major ways of spreading information. We have the olden days method of spreading information, and we have the modern methods of spreading information. For the olden method, we have oral, town crier, beating drums, lightings, fire, drawing diagrams, representations, and symbols. While for the new modern way of passing information, we have the writing a letter, typing, printing, telephone, telex, radio, television, fax, satellite, computer, and email. When we talk about the oral information, it can be from one person to the other. You pass this information here, you go there and talk, and pass the information, and you go to the other place and talk. Like a king in a village asks his servant to go around and pass an information to people. Instead of calling, for the olden days, instead of the person will find himself going around to pass this information. You go to from one house to the other. The king says this and that and that. The king said this and that and that. We shall gather at his palace by 2 p.m. tomorrow. You see, he has passed an information to that particular house. And now the town crier, these ones are the ones that will make a lot of noise, but before passing information. They get people attention by that noise, and then they will now pass the information. The same thing with beating of drums. They will beat drums to call people attention, whether you went to the farm, anywhere once you hear that sound, you will run to that particular place and go and listen, so that this particular message will not pass you by. This particular information will not pass you by. Even the lighting of fire. If you see fire, gather firewood and light fire, so that the whole village will be able to see. People will run down to that place, and by the time they reach there, they will be able to pass the information to them. The same thing with drawing. You are going to a particular place, there are some signs, some drawings that will take you round the village. It has passed information. That's a particular way of passing information. Now, for the new methods, we have the writing. It started with writing of letter. You write letter and take it to post office and send it to another state, to a country, Even then, when your children are in secondary school, you have in boarding school, the only way you can communicate with them is through writing of letter. You write a letter, the children will write letter to you and send it to you, and you can also reply through that, which will take a lot longer time before it will reach, but it's still better than those other ones. You can see that from the olden days, passing of information, you cannot pass information from one state to the other. No, but the writing of letter, that one can go far through post office. Typing, you can type an information. You can print an information and send it somewhere. You can call through phone call, telephone call. You can use it to send information. Telex, you can use it to send information. Radio, you can pass information. In fact, radio and television. The radio on wherever you are. Once you on your radio, you tune into your radio, you'll be able to hear some information about the country, security issues, whatever it is that's important that you're interested in. And then for television, you'll be able to see what is happening because it's not an audio, you will see face to face, you see what is happening live and direct. So you can see that from this age, things are getting better, the telecommunication, fax, satellites, computer, email. That's the most fastest. You type a message now and send. The person will receive it. Because if your email is on, you'll be able to receive message and act on it immediately. These are all the ways, some of the ways we have in passing information. Now, stages of information revolution. The oldest evidence of writing by man so far consists of clay tablets discovered at Sumer 3000 BC. These tablets contain records of grains received from or issued to individuals at a template store. Now, from this particular point, we can see that then they were able to establish a tablet which they can write records of their activities. You can see that it consists of list a record of grains received, because as of that time, right, they are mostly farmers. So they take inventory of what they have in the farm or issue to individuals at a template store. You see, since then, the society has seen 5 distinct stages of information revolution. That's from that time, there has been some revolution, and these are invention of language, invention of printing. Now, from these two, we see that if language is not invented, there will be no communication. There will be no communication within workers, because if I speak Igbo, and you can only understand Yoruba, then you can see that there's no way we can communicate. Why? Because we don't understand each other. So language has to come first before any other thing. Language has to come first before any other thing. Now, after the language issue has been resolved, now people can work together, we can talk together, we can communicate, we can pass information. Invention of printing now came about when you type and print. Now, we talked earlier on that in the tablet, they they take records of their grains. Now, after you've taken the record, you might want to print it. So that's why the printing has to come, so that you don't need to go and give this person that same tablet that you have written on, but you can as well print it out and pass the message to them, so that they can see the record, they can get, and you can pass an information to them. Now, invention of mass media, particularly radio and television. This particular tool made a lot of changes, brought a lot of revolution, serious revolution, you know, computer most especially. Now, instead of that tablet they were using, you typing in a tablet, you will not be comfortable. You will not be fast. You will not be able to execute large work using that tablet. But with a system, you will be able to handle a large task. Link up of computers with communication devices and development of the internet. Now, from here, the system, the computer is available now. Computer has been invented at this particular age, and now the internet came into being. So you can see that now you don't even need to type, print, and send. You can send it through an email. You can communicate through an email. You can communicate through social media and through so many others, which make work easier. The evolution of information age. The evolution of information age is classified into three basic groups, which are agriculture age, the industrial age, information age. Now, the period up to when the majority of workers were farmers. In this particular period, the majority of workers are farmers. So their lives revolve around agriculture. They don't think of anything apart from how to go to farm, how to produce goods, how to manufacture so many things, you know. So after this agriculture, we can see that industrial age came into being. This industrial age, you know, without agriculture, the industrial age might not come to be because it is what it was produced at the agriculture age that will be processed in the industry. Now, when work processes were simplified through mechanization and automation, you know, through mechanization, as the work as of that time during agricultural age, if you check it, you see that probably they use this, they weed with their hand, they use a lot of things with their strength. But because industry has come, it will be able to manufacture all these hoe and rest of them, and even tractor, you know, that will make work easy. So, and the automation of so many things that they were doing it in a manual way, now it will be automated and it will simplify so many activities here. And there will be a job opportunity, a lot of things. Some of them that rely on agriculture, they rely on farming, and they are not very good at it. They can go and be useful at the industrial, at the industry. Now, the information age. The period that began in 1957, that was when industrial age came into being, in which a majority of workers are involved in the creation, distribution, and application of information. Now, because of the invention of industrial age, you can see that information has to come into being because there will be communication between the different industries, and there will be communication between the farmers, because the industry will also have to get their raw material from the farmers. So there must be communication, and this communication and how to distribute their goods and services. So application of information is very key here. Knowledge workers. Workers involved in the creation, distribution, and application of information. Workers makes the work easier. Now, so there has to be employment. The workers have to also be educated in using these simplified mechanic machines. You know, all those tools that were automated, they have to be educated so that they will be able to use it. So at this time, I want to say thank you. We have come to the end of this particular session. Now the final place will be soon. Thank you.